What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another one. It's been a long time. Took the summer off like usual. Don't do a whole lot of recording. Occasionally, I'll throw a video out. Been doing some deer hunting. Done all right so far this season, but we're getting into trapping season. It's already started here in Missouri. I'm a little bit behind, but today's video for you guys that usually watch my channel and are subscribed, which I appreciate, and if you're not, you should think about doing that. Today is for like some younger trappers, people who are wanting to get into it, not wanting to spend a whole lot of money or not really knowing what they're needing to do. So it's going to be a bait making video. I've made my own bait for a few years now, and I've caught anything and everything from bobcats, coyotes, fox, anything and everything on it. But I do still use commercial lures. That's something I've not dove into yet, and a lot of those guys know what they're doing, and it works. But bait, I see, is something that anybody can make at home with common ingredients. So I'm going to get you turned around here, and I'm going to show you what you need and how to get this mixed up. Alright, first step, I think, in the whole bait making experience is you need something to put your bait in. So I got a little bit of different things here to show you examples. Nesquik is something cheap, and this is a Chinese food container. So these two are kind of like common stuff you can find around the house. Another great one is peanut butter jars. I've used peanut butter jars for years now. They are king in my opinion, but I didn't have a large peanut butter jar available. So I saved these two. If you're wanting to buy something, I went to Lowe's, got one of these or two of these paint mixing cups. They're the right size, but really the big key factor on all these and what everything has in common is lids. You need to have something to keep it contained, keep that smell contained, and really just something that isn't going to cost you a whole lot. I don't like to use glass. I've used pickle jars in the past. They're great, except for the deeper you get into trapping season, the colder it gets. And whenever it gets colder, glass gets a little more fragile. And ultimately, I broke a lot of glass jars over the year. That's why most of your commercial baits are going to come in plastic. I know there are a few that use the glass jars and they work great until they don't. So Nesquik, Chinese container, paint cup, or the king, in my opinion, peanut butter jar. One of those is what you need to start with. So probably start off with the Chinese container because I don't know, or maybe even probably the paint jars because I don't know exactly how I'm going to divide this up yet whenever we get to mixing. So I'll start out, we'll get everything set up, and I'll show you what we're using. Alright, as you can see here, I'm just using like household ingredients for the most part, and this is really cheap because this was stuff that we had that we didn't get to in time before it got past its expiration date. It's been sitting out here in the garage fridge for a little while. I do recommend you have a spoon. This one was literally taken out of my trapping bag. It's going to be used for the same stuff, so I didn't bother washing it. We'll get it in there. The only other things that I bought was there's 2 good eggs that we have, and then I went to Dollar General and bought like the cheapest can of tuna that they had. If you're not wanting to catch a lot of coons, I catch anything and everything. It don't matter to me. You may not want to use that, but you could also consider it might be something that bobcats are into. So it may be something you want to add, maybe something you want to leave out. You can also use mackerel. This is literally $1.05 at my local Dollar General, so that's why I decided to throw it in. And so I'll put the juice, everything in it, and that's how we'll start this off. And we'll just scoop it on in there. And you're literally done with a can of tuna. Get that last little bit out of there. There we go. Whole idea of this is keeping it cheap, keeping it something that everybody can do. and not have to worry. One thing you may want to do if you have something like these ribs that are still kind of whole, I have my hunting knife that I was skinning deer with yesterday. I'm just going to cube it up or in smaller chunks with it. It's still dirty. And then I'll add it to it. This is just ground beef. Throw it in there too. So I'll open it up real quick. And right now all we're going to do is literally just add ingredients in. And it may be better if you use a large bowl than like me using this paint cup, but I didn't want to mix. I didn't have one that was something that I could afford to just throw in. So I just use this because one, it's probably what I'm going to use this year, and we can use it to get started with. Just kind of chop it up. And I may have to split this with that other cup a little bit early. So give me a second and I'll get this managed. I'll get that chopped up, and then we'll add a few more ingredients here. Alright, as you see, got that chunked up, cubed up, and in there. Idea is this is meat based, you know, these are all predators, or mostly predators that you're trapping whenever around on the line, so they're wanting to be meat bait things. My recommendation is to remember, like, this is meat based, but you also need to have some fats in there, and there's some fats on these ribs, and that's like what an animal's really going to be hunting whenever the weather gets real cold. Fats are more calorie dense, and that's what they're going to want. They're wanting to find an easy meal that they're not having to put a lot of energy into their body, and they're trying to get a quick, easy meal. Next thing is egg, and just crack that dude, throw the whole thing in there. Shell doesn't matter. I mean, we ain't cooking this for them. Just let it in there, and then you can just crush it in to the mix and just mix all that together. So get that way down deep in there, mix it up, and it's going to mix up as you go throughout your trapping season, which is good because you're taking little bits in, out, here and there. You may get a little bit of pork in one, you may get a little beef in one, you may get a little bit of tuna. So it's going to be a little bit mixed up variant of smells, and that's what those critters are going to be doing, coming by, smelling, and picking out what they like to eat. So we'll mix these together here. My other recommendation, something I'm not going to do today, is like at work I've set mouse traps, just the old spring type that snaps on their head. If you can find a whole mouse like that and you just take him out and stuff him in a hole, I think I have showed that either in last year's trapping videos, maybe the year before. A lot of times that's all you need. Like literally, if you have a mouse in the house, you can win twice. You can get your mouse out of your house by trapping him, and turn around and use him as bait for coyote. And literally, I think I had that mouse out in the hole for 2 days, and then bing bang, we got the coyote just on that one mouse. I didn't even put anything else in there. I may have had a little bit of lure to bring him over, but then that mousy smell was something that he really wanted. It's closer to his natural diet. So we got that kind of mixed together. Now at this point, you can use it as raw bait if you're new to this, and you can literally take that out and poke it in a hole. You're probably going to want to add to it after a few days. Let this sit with a lid or like a coffee filter over it with a rubber band around it. So if you're doing this in summer, flies don't get into it and taint or ruin your meat with maggots. You don't want that. It's cold enough now in the year while I'm doing this right now, I don't have to worry about it. Also, it gives it a little bit more of a smell because it's tainted meat. For today's purposes, I'm probably not going to do that. I've had this sitting around for a while. It's not really bad pungent. Whenever that like hamburger starts turning a little gray, that's probably about when it's done. And you need two other things after that, once it turns gray, to stabilize it for use whenever you're out trapping. Those two ingredients, one of them I have here readily. The other one I have somewhere around here. Don't know exactly where it is at the moment. That one is propylene glycol. It's kind of the antifreeze to the meat, so it doesn't just become a big solid mass block with the water that's still in it when it gets cold. I'll link that down below in the description if you want to look at it. The other one is the sodium benzoate. If you look at most of your processed foods and everything at home, you might see this on it. That's just a preservative that locks in so it doesn't taint past a certain point and just make your bait go completely bad to where you can't use it and nothing wants to eat it. Now today, I'm going to do something a little different. Normally I'd let this taint down like that and then add my sodium benzoate and glycol same day. Mix it all together. Make sure the taint stops. I don't know that I have an exact measurement for how much sodium benzoate to use, but if you see it progressively breaking down, add more until it stops. That's what I do every year, and it seems to work pretty well. But today, I've read online in some forums, try blue cheese over hamburger meat is what they've done in some of those forums. This bottle is literally a $2 bottle from Dollar General. Got it same day I got the tuna, and it's pretty strong. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to try it this year. This is something new for me, and I'm going to pour it in there because it's pretty pungent, and just cover everything up. And even I got to looking, it has the sodium benzoate in it, so it's got a preservative also. You're using the same thing that's already in dressings and whatnot. So mix that all in really good. Here, I actually still have quite a bit left. If you wanted to thicken this up, I'm sure that you could, I guess you could use like cornstarch or something like that if you wanted to. I think this will make a more of a paste bait going forward just because there's a lot of liquid to it. You might be able to find some other thickeners and whatnot. Cornstarch just like a common one you'd probably have on hand that wouldn't cost a whole lot. It might clump up though. I've never used it, honestly. Like I said, usually I just mix it together and add my glycol and my stabilizer, and we go from there. So at this point, pretty well done. Literally, all you gotta do is put your caps on it, divvy it out in different sizes. I might do that still. But literally, you have your trapping bait ready to go, and you're ready for trapping season at that point. Like I said, guys, if you've been around the block a while, this is nothing new to you. This is pretty simple. Kind of get your own take on it. Try different things if you've not tried it before. Maybe something work. I've got a couple ideas on things I might try in the future. This is cheap. That's what I was going for. Like those paint cups are $2 with the lids at Lowe's. Use the Chinese container. I'll link them down below too. You can buy them like off Amazon and stuff if that's what you're wanting to do. Be real cheap like me. Use a Nesquik or peanut butter container or something you're going to throw out anyways. Wash it out. Throw your stinky bait in it. Go trapping. Nothing rocket science about it. These are common household things. That's why I did it that way. It's stuff everybody's going to have, so might as well use it. The other few things you can get really cheap. Your most expensive thing in all this is probably going to be like your sodium benzoate and your propylene glycol. Just if it's warmer out, might not need it. You can probably get by with it, but you are risking at least on the glycol, freezing your bait. And it's just like your freezer at home. It doesn't spoil, it doesn't smell. Animals may not be as attracted to it if you don't have it. So if you have any questions, if I forgot anything, and I may have, leave me a comment down below. If you're somebody that's stuck around that's a normal subscriber, thanks for sticking in there. We're growing. We're up to 700 and some odd subscribers, and we're chipping away trying to get everybody watching videos and get over that hump, share everything that we have. So, till next time, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.